1979 was the beginning of the Iranian Revolution, which refers to the overthrow of Shah Reza Pahlavi by Ayatollah Khomeini, who was a Muslim religious leader, politician, and the founder of the Republic of Iran.
He took over the government, and his promises was he's gonna have a government like U.S. or the more civilized countries, so we can vote every 4 to 8 years. But it was all lie, and he had no intention of doing that. He wanted to just take over.
Also, at this time, Saddam Hussein led Iraq on an attack on Iran, hoping to gain more land and power, but instead triggering an 8-year-long war between the countries.
We were losing people like crazy. I mean, we were sending like thousands of young kids. They were getting killed overnight. I mean,
Did you have any friends that were like?
oh, a lot of course, a lot of friends.
While many young men were sent to war, my dad tried to escape knowing that war was practically a death sentence. Many others attempted to leave as well, but the obstacles were not easy to overcome. The Iranian police were constantly patrolling the border. It was impossible to leave via plane, train, or car. The only option was to leave on foot, either from the north into Turkey or the south through Pakistan.
Uncle Saeed was here.
Yeah.
And then it's me, Matthew, your aunt, and grandma. They all have a different plans of coming here, because like Masood, he didn't need passport. He had passport. He didn't need to do army. I was the only one that I had to do certain things to get out of the Iran. For your grandma.
First, my dad attempted to leave through Pakistan. That attempt failed shortly due to lack of knowledge of where he was going, not to mention he was not at all prepared for the strong heat in South Iran, which was all desert. After a couple of months, one of his workers, Saifullah, learned about his desire to run away. Saifullah was Afghan, so he knew the area and how to get into Pakistan or Afghanistan without running into border patrol.
So me and Saifullah, we left Zahedan on a foot. We walked from Zahedan.
Is that in Iran? Okay.
Zahedan is a border town.
Border Iran and Pakistan or Afghanistan?
Iran, Pakistan, Afghanistan. You
Oh,
can
all
see
three.
it there. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So we got to Zahedan, and then we filled up our water bottles. We had this like 2-gallon big water bottle. We thought it's big. It was joke once we got to desert.
On his journey to Pakistan, my dad came across a drug-dealing empire where they were bringing in tires and car parts from Iran to Pakistan, selling them for triple the price, and buying drugs with the money. Those drugs were then brought to Iran and sold there. This whole operation was taking place in the middle of a desert in Pakistan.
He whistles, shh, and one head comes out of the rock. He says, "It's me." And that guy just flags him, okay, and he sits, and we walk through, go down, and then he looks at the, shh, it's me. He's signaling these guys that it's me. He took us all the way out of their area. That little
So
section.
if you wouldn't whistle, they would shoot you?
Oh, of course. They
And
will
then
do-
what, let your body
Yeah.
sit there and rot?
Well, of course, they don't let you go. They think that that's the area that they take in drugs and tires and stuff. All the illegal activity happens right there. That's their base.
What does
That's
the police do about it? Nothing? They don't care?
They don't know. Or if they do,
They're too
these guys
scared.
pay them.
After failing to make it safely out, my dad ended up right back where he started, in Iran.
The government of Iran must recognize the gravity of the situation which it has itself created and the grave consequences which will result if harm comes to any of the
After
hostages.
30 days of unsuccessfully trying to get the American hostages out of Tehran, the government of the United States is now trying to get the deposed Shah of Iran out of this country. And there is no sign tonight that either problem is likely to be solved soon.
We're not going to put a man into a rowboat and send him out beyond the continental shelf if he has no place to go.
I am ordering that we discontinue purchasing of any oil from Iran for delivery to this country.
Held hostage, President Carter reached an agreement with Khomeini to release these hostages. Meanwhile, Khomeini was settling in as the new leader of Iran. At this point, my dad had decided that it would be easier to just serve his 2 years in the army and then get a passport to leave the country and come to join his family in the United States.
So Uncle Saeed here heard that I'm in a army, so he got in a plane and flew to Tehran to see me and find a way to make me run away before they take me to the border.
Now that he had failed to run away twice now from the south, with the help of his brother, my dad decided to escape the chaotic country from the north into Turkey. Basically what happened was that my uncle paid several different people to take my dad from checkpoint to checkpoint until he passed the Turkish border.
Bitch. And that guy and me, we had to walk. Now, in that time, you start seeing snow. Now
Were you still in Iran?
Oh yeah, we were still in Iran.
North?
North Iran, yeah. Northwest Iran.
We have to keep in mind that unlike South Iran, North Iran is filled with snowy mountains and freezing cold creeks. To avoid the police, my dad and his guide had to walk through these conditions for 5 days.
Halfway through, one of the guys took off, went to one of the villages that he knew, brought some more bread, and they have this little, like a little piece of, they call them like a falafel, you know.
Like
That,
meat?
yeah, they're pre-made food that they take, you know, and
Yeah.
when you go to court, that they give you one of those to have some
So you don't
energy.
die.
Yeah. It's nighttime. We try to hide in the mountains and spend the time there without having a big fire or nothing, because fire was dangerous. They could see you from distance and come after you.
Who would come after you? Like Iran police?
Iran's police, of course, the guard.
Finally, after his third try, my dad made it out of Iran and lived in Turkey, where he sought refuge.